It's Wednesday, April 23rd, and we have a pretty good bit to look at today as this storm is strengthening. And the main thing that we're going to need to look at is about next week, because this is just going to be some severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes. As over next week, it's going to be a pretty insane amount of severe weather that will produce at least one tornado. But first, we're going to be looking at our severe weather outlook for today. This is for today. Looks like down there in the Texas area, Fort Stockton and Sheffield, down there, y'all, Texas probably. I think it's around that area, and Odessa, however you pronounce that. Y'all are going to have the main effect, and all the way up to the top of Texas, up through Oklahoma and Kansas, I believe. Now on to everybody else, the whole southeast, basically. I think West Virginia and Virginia are going to be perfectly fine. Y'all don't have a pretty big chance on until later this week. As Florida, just the north part of Florida up into the Gulf, is going to be affected by a little bit of storms, not today, but Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all y'all over there, Louisiana, Arkansas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, some of Kentucky, I believe. Y'all are just going to have a marginal, or not even a marginal risk, a slight risk for today, but I don't believe you will. Now here's our tornado outlook for today. I'll circle it. That whole thing right there that I just circled is where it's most likely going to be a tornado, if there is one. Trying to make this video a lot quicker though. Here's our severe weather outlook for tomorrow, which is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. What I have circled is the marginal risk and what is most likely going to be capable of producing a tornado. I think that's a little bit more than marginal risk, but it's fine. All the way down, if your state's included in that, and wherever you live, you're going to have most likely some sort of thunderstorm or something like that around y'all's area, most likely. Now, moving on to next week, let's look at our severe weather outlook for April 28th, Monday, April 28th. As up here through Oklahoma all the way up to Wisconsin and stuff, y'all are going to have a pretty good chance of severe weather. You have a 15 to 29% chance of within a 25 miles rate that y'all are going to get a storm or some severe weather out there, possibly producing a tornado. As we know, it likes to form over there in Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, and Kansas. So if you were in Oklahoma, Kansas, or Arkansas moving on to Monday and Tuesday of next week, y'all be on the lookout, as this storm is going to most likely drop down a tornado there, because there's cold air coming down from up Canada up there, and there's moist air coming in there's warm air coming in from the Gulf and all the way down there in Mexico. It always likes to meet in Texas. And as of Tuesday, April 29th of next week, severe weather outlook. We're going to most likely have a tornado or some very severe weather from the very top, the top right of Texas, and from most of Arkansas, the very east side of Oklahoma, all the way up to whatever state that is up there. On to our outlook for Friday of this week. What I have drew right here is where it is a high risk. Wait, no. What I've drawn right here is where this is predicted to be going by the Storm Prediction Center of the National Weather Service. That is where they're predicting it to go. So if you are in like the top of Alabama, north of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, all of Tennessee, the southwest side of, or just the whole entire west side of South Carolina, and then the whole entire west side of North Carolina, as this is moving on into Friday of this week, April 25th, 2025. Kentucky, y'all are going to have a little bit of this, a little bit of the outskirts of this, as you can see here. Now Louisiana, Arkansas, definitely. This is where we also see a pretty good amount of tornadoes, as we have seen over, I don't know how many in the past week, but over the last weekend, in the past at least 7 to 10 days, we have seen over 14 tornadoes over through Texas and Arkansas, from wherever this dark green thing is right now. Yeah, that is all we're going to be looking at right now from the Storm Prediction Center. Now we're going to be looking at our radar, as some of this is moving into Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia, and some of South Carolina, Tennessee, y'all. As we do not have any current warnings over there in the Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas area. I know that just yesterday we had some tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma again. They have been hit really hard by these tornadoes over the past week or so. And yeah, they are trying to recover from this right now as I'm speaking. Now what I'm going to look at right now is Charleston, North Carolina, or South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, and up in there close to Augusta and Waynesboro, Georgia, as and Garfield, as I'm seeing this right here. Is that right there? Down there close to Summertown is pretty big of a storm. So y'all are getting some pretty big thunderstorms right now. Yeah. And then as I'm filming this video, we've got I believe 2 severe thunderstorm warnings over there. I'm gonna let y'all look at this to see if y'all are involved in it. Yeah, that's really all. Now, the last thing I'm going to look at before I get off of this and send this to my editor is over here. I'm not very familiar with this, but I believe this is Kansas. I will also let y'all look at that to see if y'all are involved. Here in Cottage Hill too, y'all have a flash flood warning and a click right here to subscribe to me, click right here to watch one of my videos, and then click right here to subscribe to Max Velocity, Ryan Hall, y'all, as this storm is getting pretty big. And many of lives could be in threat over the next week or so. But yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow.